Hey y'all, what it is, what it do. It's your girl Brittany. I'm back. I'm better with another video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Like the video, click the bell to be notified of every time I post. You know what it is. I know what it is. We know I post frequently. All right, y'all, come on, say it with me collectively. We are jumping, we are skipping, we hopping, we leaping, we doing a Dougie bow or Dougie yo into this video. Click the link down in the description box below to become a paid member on my Patreon. All right, y'all, come. Without further ado, let's go and get into Dollhouse, simple, period. First of all, I love the animation that they did with the Dollhouse reunion, but they got the people fighting in the house. That was so lit to me. Just that small little bit was so lit. I love the set design. The set design is everything to me. I definitely love the set design. The lip couches, they ate. They ate. Now, for it to be so many cut scenes, I still feel as though it was long. And we got some fades, but not the fades that we were looking for, which they're always gonna do that. Them having Barbie lip sync was hilarious to me. Barbie said she's going to put on a show. When Barbie bust out in that split, girl, I hollered, I screamed out loud. But if it's a beast in the streets and you once want to see run when I can. JT was clocking Bria. I'm like, okay, this is not one of JT's faves. She kept clocking Bria. Ari was very passionate behind her fight with London. She was not playing. Like, she was like, I gotta get that. I gotta have that. Takasha taking off Rosa's wig. I was like, girl, like, just vibe. You didn't have to do all that. Persuasion and Michaela getting it at the door, or was about to get it at the door. I said, I know that's right. They said on site. They said on site. But come on, y'all. Let's go on and get into everything. We start off with Deja coming out, looking good, looking real pretty. One thing she gonna do is be blinged out and give classy. And also we get an overview of the set. Like I told y'all, I think the set is super nice. So she starts off with addressing the controversy with Joyce being the host. At the end and at the beginning of the day, it's a fighting show. The foundation of Unaddressed TV is fighting. I get it because they are T girls and this is the first T girl show. They kind of more so are looking for sororities. In my opinion, they're looking for sisterhood. They looking for Girl Scout cookies. And this ain't that. This ain't that. I think that Jocelyn, in my opinion, overall did a good job as a host because she was supposed to come in, be messy, and whatever else, and this was her first time hosting. All that, well, we needed an older host to guide the girls and blah, 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 blah. Get guidance on TikTok. Get guidance on YouTube. Sign up for a course, bitch. This ain't that. Fight! Like, that's what y'all here to do. Y'all here to rumble. Y'all here to make storylines. Like, y'all here to, give it up. Y'all are not here necessarily to be guided as far as like mentorship and all that. And even if so, that's in like one episode, maybe two, but that's not the whole season. I definitely think overall she gave Now That's TV, but she came in being herself. They holding Joyce to the ride because Joyce sat up there, first episode came in and saying how she felt like they looked because they did not meet her expectation. I don't think it was anything wrong with that. Yeah, maybe she could have changed her wording to the women. I understand, they didn't necessarily like her wording in the way she came at them off the beginning of them meeting her in person and everything. So I can understand that. But also too, like I said before, me as a viewer, as far as being entertained, I was entertained. Now Barbie came and she calls out Joyce again. Allegedly, they didn't even fight, so who cares? And y'all know how I feel about the blonde wig on Barbie. Everybody know how I feel about that already. Y'all already know how I feel about that. I hate the blonde wig on Barbie, but hey, go off. Kenzie comes out trying to redeem herself, letting it be known that nobody ran her out the house. She ran you out the house. No, girl, you coming here to get your lick back or be on that to redeem yourself. I remember you running out that house, getting the hell on. Savannah looks so good. Savannah looks amazing. It was her saying the Crip Princess is here. Girl, I hollered when I first heard her say that. We see Shyla. Finally, her wig looks good. Shyla look good. Shyla, you can tell it's still a work in progress, but I definitely think when she get there, she gonna be there, baby. She gonna be there. I definitely believe that. But Shyla look good. We then end up seeing Pookie. Pookie makes a reference to some tennis shoes. Tennis shoes, flip flops, heels on. Pookie's still not a fighter. So, barefoot. You still ain't giving nobody no work. Persuasion come out the car, bra, Red Bull, and a bottle of wine. She's ready to get busy. She's clocked in early. Love to see it. Hopefully that's not that same wig that she kept recycling at Dollhouse. Now, Jaylani, Akasha, London, I don't know who else is behind. They all jump out the car. Now, I will say this. I definitely enjoy Jelani's fighting skills. I do. She's very entertaining. But I don't like her clothing. I know like a lot of her pieces are custom, but I just feel as though Jelani is too grown for these outfits. I just feel like this is surpassed her. I like when I used to see her on a panel when she used to dress real feminine. She looked it amazing. I remember one time she had came on there with like a quick wee pissy cut. She ate that up. I would prefer to see more of that from Jelani as far as outfits. And even with Akasha. I don't like Akasha's outfit. I just feel like Akasha can't dress either. Now, when it came to them hopping at the car, obviously Jelani took the show, basically, in my opinion, letting it be known she here. I don't even know who said she wasn't coming. All them panels I watched, Jelani made very clear that she was coming. It was always clear that she was coming. London ends up popping her stuff in the bag, but girl, we don't know what you saying. Nobody knows. Jelani took it. Just pay it. So then we get YG, and YG was giving the Red Hearts Queen. It gave Halloween costume to me. It's cute. It's real cute, but it's very Halloweenish to me. But I overall love the look. I will say that. I love the hair. The hair is so custom. Like I said, it's giving the Hearts Queen in the Alice in Wonderland. Like that's what she looked like to me. I do like the outfit, but it's just giving a little Halloweeny. So JB's is always a key. I don't like the dress. I told y'all that early on. I didn't like the dress. The dress, it looked a little better seeing it full view on her, but I just still don't care for it. But one thing about it, JB's is gonna serve regardless. So she ends up saying, I know I'm eating Mother Crip, so I dress like a blood. That took me out. Like I said, she's always good for a key, and she has hands to back it up. So y'all know one thing about it, we love to see JB's. My thing is, so I wanted her and Isaiah talk on the back end because I remember she called him out. So I wonder they talk on the back end, or did they ever get to chit chat about her calling him out? Now, I feel as though once we started seeing Bria, all the looks really went downhill from there. It gave super low effort once we seen Bria. So Bria's outfit looked like a hot mess to me. I hated the bow. I hated the lace. I just hated it. It was so ugly. I hated her dress. Now, I know when I did the trailer teaser, whatever, I said I like the Ari's outfit. Now that I get a better look, Ari outfit look a mess too. Ari busting out the shirt. At the top it's too big, but at the bottom it looked like she busting out. I don't really care for the shirt. I don't even care for her makeup. Her and Bria to me both look a mess. Then we end up seeing, I believe, Joyce. Joyce, if them are pads, they are showing through them jeans. Pads is showing. Joyce's hair looks good, but overall first look, it look a mess. Makayla comes cute. Out of all the jogging suits or not super dressed up looks, Makayla looks great. I'm happy to see her out that damn blue. The brown on her looks stunning. The buzz down is bussing. So Makayla is glad, you heard? All that. Persuasion, you want it? You ready for me? Makayla said, yo. She said, all right now, it's her throwing up her set. Like, okay, we're going to get that now. She never minded. I love this. Now, I don't necessarily remember seeing them fight in the trailer. I don't remember seeing them fight. But I'm excited to see it go down if they end up getting it. Now, Makayla ends up making this speech just saying how she feels as though Persuasion is jealous of her. I really don't care for that. I'm excited to see the evolution of Makayla. I really am. I like Makayla. I really like her. As far as Dollhouse, like JT said, her loyalty was so strong. Like she really was a true friend, girlfriend, or whatever you want to call it to Jocelyn. And it was nice to see. Persuasion goes in the room, and then here go Akasha. One thing about it, y'all know Akasha gonna always come talk to the camera. But one thing about it, Akasha lets it be known she ain't got no problem with Persuasion. She was playing, they was kiki cackling, but now they're ready for war. So we've seen a better view of London's and Swayana's look. Swayana look I like. I ain't gonna lie. I like it. I like her look. It's cute. It's sexy. It's to the point. London's look. London always gonna give hair and makeup. But outfit, I hate the shirt. It's too big. It's too big. I don't like it. I don't know if I mentioned Pookie's outfit. I don't like the prom dress. The prom dress looks a mess to me. I love that the girls sat there and talk their stuff. Being the first ever Now That's TV show to film the entire time. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. And you know, the music thing was a big one for me because I'm not gonna lie. Stank Walk. To this day, I put on Stank Walk. I love Stank Walk. Mouse. I love Mouse. They music, you know, they doing what doing Unleash, you know, all that. I love the fact that they had Pookie and Shyla have a sit down. I love that. I really do love that. Now, they definitely talked about, you know, as far as like their transitions and them being vulnerable about that. You know, one thing about it with the girlies, when you talk about that transition, that really do hit their heart. Like, you know, I definitely understand because a lot of them have went through different but similar journeys. You know what I'm saying? And with these similar but different journeys, when you have been through the same process as me, why is you throwing up the process in my face? Especially, you know, no shade. Shyla ain't all the way there yet. You know what I'm saying? She's still in the beginning stepping stones, in my opinion, versus Pookie, who is more like finished. You know, so I definitely understand that. And I get where Pookie is coming from. Now, the whole persuasion is mine. Persuasion is mine. I'm sorry that you seem to be confused. She was confused. Because persuasion is Pookie's. All right. You know, I was like, oh, okay. Oh, and oh, was I supposed to be hearing it? Because I don't think I was supposed to hear that part of the, okay. You know, I didn't think I was supposed to hear that part. But Pookie fake. Because as Shyla was doing her talk and saying whatever, Pookie over here playing with her bob. She just playing with the bob. Something. I accept your apology. And then hug and something. That's how real women do. That's how real black women do. We can accept apology. We can talk about it as grown women. I said now, you want a bit more stunned Charlotte than the man in the moon. And all of a sudden, well, I forgive you. Yeah, that's how black women do. Because we can apologize and be cool. Girl, you weren't stunned, Shala. And I mean, they had just touched each other's body. Pookie ain't even really hugging Shala back. You see that? Pookie is hilarious. You see that? We can be real dolls and hug it out. But I'm not gonna lie to you, that empire hair is busting through Pookie. Pookie is throwing that empire hair left, right, left. Now I love the fact that Persuasion and Akasha talked their thing out. You know, like Persuasion said, it was never about y'all. It was about Now That's TV. And again, I told y'all I went and watched the podcast with Armand. Barbie and Persuasion should have been the first up there in them seats. It was no reason. Now That's TV really, in my opinion, dropped the ball when it came to that in particular, because Akasha and JB's had truly just got there. If we being honest, they had truly just got there. It's no reason that they should have been in them seats. Especially in the beginning. They shouldn't have been in them seats. And when it came to Dollhouse, everybody was excited about Persuasion's overall evolution. So we wanted to get details about her evolution. With Barbie, Barbie is now on Moans, which Barbie body do look good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You know, everything is starting to fill out. It look good. Hate the wig still though. Hate the wig. But with Barbie, you know, Barbie definitely is one of the foundational women of Now That's TV as far as T-girls go. And with that, I definitely feel as though her and Persuasion was owed a seat, and not just a seat, the first seats. The first seats. Akasha and JB's had no business being the first seats or the second seats, in my opinion. Now, something I have to add on to this is the fact of, to me, Persuasion and Sway should have had a conversation on the reunion. Not a long one, you know, not long, but a small snip, because he was swearing up and down, you know, it was her, like Persuasion trying to make it seem like this and that. He should have, to me, confronted her on camera. You don't mind confronting nobody else. You should have confronted Persuasion, because you kept talking about her on the podcast. Every time the dolls came up, every time it's alive with you and the dolls on the Swayway, you continuously brought up Persuasion. So to me, that should have been addressed. And that could have got cleared up real quick. And not only that, y'all know, as they were saying, oh, Persuasion not coming back, all this and that, but she back. Like, that's what I be talking about. Y'all be doing the most. He addresses Persuasion on a podcast, but they had no problem going out their way, going on a full live when it came to Ferrari. They did the most. Ferrari made one post, everybody mad. It's a tornado. It's an earthquake. Everything is shaking. Cash and said some stuff. All of a sudden, we go on a whole hour and 30-minute podcast talking about Cash. But you've been talking about Persuasion this whole time, and you never got no clarity, no clear up on the cameras. I think that's insane. Now, Rick Rosa came in here. I don't like the suit, but I love the bust down from Rick Rosa. I hate the suit, though. I hate the suit. But Rick Rosa wanted to pop out. I love the fact that they did include him, because he has been holding down the panels. He's been holding it down. But I'm not going to lie, this scene with Barbie is a wasted scene, because her and Joyce never got that. No Unleashed happened. God, not Isaiah clocks Barbie. Of course she gonna be here. She the host. Barbie had nothing to say. God, that took me. Barbie was so speechless. She just had to go hug Isaiah real quick, because don't piss me off. Like, you hear me reading, I'm gathering, and you, of course she's gonna be here. She's the host. Shut up. Shut up. Her saying that she's gonna get Ari. Why? What Ari do? I watched all them panels. Barbie rarely was up there, so I'm not too familiar with her beef with Ari. Boom, let's get into Kenzie. So, a little bit, because I just had this happen. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I agree with Kenzie as far as like security and safety goes on how JB's did what she did. I definitely understand that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely get that as far as safety. Because y'all are at the club, y'all are out, y'all not in a staged area that is set up for y'all to, get done what y'all need to get done. So I understand where Kenzie is coming from with that. But at the beginning of the day, baby, she ran you out that house. Now, Rick Rosa ends up going into the other room with the other ladies. And, he giving Shyla her props. Because Shyla, once she changed the outfit from out that dress, she do look good, Still, some work, but I definitely give her props. I love the hair. I ain't gonna lie, the hair, the tits, everything look good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give Shyla her props. So he talking to them, da da da. Akasha just run up. She said she don't mess with him. Now they got into it years ago. I forgot what happened. He did explain why they are no longer friends. And I remember seeing the video. I believe Bleach was involved, but don't have me lie. I really wasn't too invested in what they had going on. Akasha came real late in the season, so it was neither here nor there to me. Now, her pulling off his wig, saying, she ain't got no dialogue for him, da da da. And he was like, well, let me go get Michaela. I'm not surprised that that came out of his mouth. What was he gonna say? I definitely think he was embarrassed, but it seemed as though he was a little bit prepared for his wig to be snatched. He, then showed his nice haircut, and he started back work. He started back working as he should. He's a professional, and I hope they definitely keep him as far as the panels and stuff go, because again, he is a professional and he does what needs to be done. A lot of the show on the back end was amazing with his panels that he did every Tuesday. So yeah, keep him going. Now after that, all the dolls was just like, oh well, as they should though. I thought that was different. That a lot of them were like, oh well, stop playing with her. I totally agreed. I said, okay, the dolls is having each other back as they should. Now, I really don't think the house mother came. I know that he said that he was going to be there, but baby, I think Aunt sat that one out, and I think just moving forward, he's sending out anything now that's TV. He's not used to all of this, seems like to me. I don't think he was ready for what type of consequences that was going to be happening after he said what he said in those confessionals. So, yeah, I don't think he came. I think the check to him just wasn't a Donald Trump check to be cashed for that ass. Now, I love Rick Rosa's and Ari's interaction. No surge, boom. Thank ya. I love like just little bits of personality. Like, they're not acting like dolls. Do they ever act like dolls? Not even giving too much tea on his wig just being snatched. They're not giving dolls. Do they ever give dolls? That was a key. Now Barbie performs Unleash and Screams and You Once Wanna Be it took a minute for that song to grow on me, but it's definitely a great song. So Barbie performs, like I said, when Barbie bust out in the split, girl, I hollered, I screamed. Barbie was being Barbie. I guess they let her perform at the Dollhouse reunion because they didn't let her perform at the Knicks Awards, which I think, she should have been up there and did this song in particular. But yeah, Barbie performed. Now we then get into Deja's opening monologue. Her and Janisha John, I like the monologues be so similar. Now I could not do this by myself. I cannot hold it down by myself. Introducing da da da, who'll be helping me tonight. Like, girl, Deja, Janisha John, that's two peas in a pod. JT comes out looking gorge, looking amazing. I personally enjoyed hearing JT's POV about the show and highlights and what she liked and what she didn't like. I definitely thought it was a key when they brought up Barbie fighting, and she was like, I seen her. She's doing well. She was a little more prepared. She didn't give all the way full on kitchen table talk, as she shouldn't though. As she shouldn't. But she gave enough for you to read in between the lines. And that's what I like about JT. I definitely think, as her career continues to blossom, she knows how to put the words together, but tell us what we need to know at the same time. So I definitely enjoyed her POV. Now, I love the fact that Bria explained everything between her and Shyla, and also, about her botched surgery that she had. I'm definitely happy that JT got down to the bottom of it, and you could tell that she actually watches the show. You can absolutely tell. Not only that, I will say, even though the fact that her and Saucy Santana don't get along, they're not cool or whatever the case is, both of them and Young Miami are really good personalities. They're really built to do stuff like this. All three of them, even if they're all not necessarily cool anymore, they do really good at this stuff. Now, Kenzie Barbie initiates Bria and Kenzie to, reconcile and, be cool with each other or whatever the case is. So they're not even stunning each other. It's no more beef with them two because both of them have bigger fish to fry. Now they end up bringing Kenzie out. Kenzie looking sexy is crazy. Kenzie look cute, but sexy, the bra. Kenzie look a little cheap, but I like the heels. Bria's makeup looks absolutely flawless. I love her makeup. It's so pretty. Now, Kenzie popping it. Kenzie ends up saying that I feel as though she's referring to JB's as far as saying that she gave somebody grace because JB's was a newbie. I don't think you gave JB's grace. I don't believe it, but go off. But I do like the fact that, it seems as though Deja and JT was taking up for Kenzie's actions, and then Bria was coming in like, nah, Kenzie should have ran that. Nah, Kenzie ain't do this, Kenzie ain't do that. So I do like the fact that at least somebody was holding Kenzie accountable because Kenzie did not have all this heart early on. Now, Deja addresses, how people would always say, like, Now That's TV set them up. So she trying to make it very clear that Now That's TV is not setting nobody up. Let's let them come all the way out. Don't just try to hit them and everything. I thought that was a key. Now, Ari comes out. She lets it be known that London just tried to run up on her backstage. So she like, okay, bring her out because now I'm finna fight. I'm finna do what I need to do. So it's too many people on the stage, like they said, that want London. So they got to help London out and bring out one of her friends, which is Swayon. Girl, Ari gagged me when she hit the floor. And the way she hit the floor, y'all, she did it as if that she was crisscross applesauce. Girl, she hit the floor. I screamed. Not sitting on it. Now they end up showing a little bit of the Rick Rosa's podcast where they got to reading each other. I remember that live in particular. It was a key. When I say a key, baby, that was a key. Key, baby. London was too stunned to speak. Okay, baby. It was a lie. Okay, the girls was really getting down. So they end up talking about that. Ari, just lets it be known how, again, it's always low blow first. It's never, shade for shade. It's like, I can say your shoes look ugly and you talking about my looks. You talking about how my daddy don't like me, all this and that, So the girls really just be kind of recycling the reads. Bria lets it be known that she do have a problem with Swayyana. Swayyana be talking and saying she gonna get Bria on the back end, but on the front, she don't need that. So Sway and London come out, good JT and hopped up. She like, no, down there. Like, she's making it clear, that she has entrusted Now That's TV with her. And she mean that she ain't finna get hit. Now, let's get into the fight. I ain't gonna lie, this is a great opening fight. They was good. They fight so hard. I was fighting London so hard. She couldn't get up off London. Girl, she fight her so hard. She get the kicking in her head and everything. Like, she's fighting her hard. When I say London needs to be back, London needs to be back. So then we get the Sway and Bree. So Bria, Swayyana hit the floor first. Then, they give us another clip. Now Bria on the floor. I'm like, okay, so you really don't know who won that, because with both of the clips, they was on the floor. But I know one thing, Ari won against London. God. And it was the slap around the nation. This was Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. How loud that slap was that Kenzie did to London. Baby, that slap was so loud. I'm like, I hope she ain't hit that girl ear. Her eardrum. I'm starting to think about that. But I think she cheat. It was so loud. She had to slap bare skin. Like, she slapped her hard as hell. Girl, when I tell you, Ari hit the floor so hard. Good. She hit the floor. Kenzie smacked her for Old New Beyond. That was a JB smack. Cause girl, she did not have to smack London now. I don't even remember her and London beefing. But that's all I got for y'all. The smack was enough to end the video. Love y'all. See y'all in the next one. Bye.